Good morning, Noam. There.
I hope he's on.
Not on. So not good morning to Noam.
Nobody's on. What are we up to?
We are almost up to today's daf. We're on the Tzadikim Beis. It's going to be a struggle. Today is Rosh Chodesh, only 30 minutes here, so we're going to have to rush. Only good questions today. Wow. Okay, let's just be magdim. We touched upon the sugi yesterday. This is a famous machlokes Rabbi Yonason and Rabbi Yoshe in the whole Shas. Rabbi Yonason says that if you have two things in one pasuk, they don't necessarily go together. For instance, if it says in the pasuk, Ish asher yikal esov v'simoy, it doesn't mean you have to curse your father and your mother to be over. It's one or the other, unless the Torah says specifically Yachdov. Where Rabbi Yoshia says that Yachdov. Where Rabbi Yoshia says that if the Torah says two things together in one pasuk, then you would have to be Mekayim both. So according to Rabbi Yoshia, you have to curse your father and mother in order to be over. So what does that have to do with us? If the pasuk by us says Shor v'seh, maybe you need both. In order to bring Nesachim, you need both. Fine. So that's where we're holding the bottom of Daf Tzadik Omer Beis. Does anybody remember exactly where we got to? Rabbi Yonason Omer. Let's just start from there. What? Where? Rabbi Yonason Lamali Kro. How many lines from the bottom is that?
2 lines.
Oh, we got all the way there. Okay, great. Rabbi Yonason Lamali Kro. So what's interesting about the sugi is that Rabbi Yonason and Rabbi Yoshe almost reverse their shita. Rabbi Yonason, who says that when the Torah says two things together, it doesn't mean necessarily you need both of them. He says that you need a pasuk to tell us that they're not both together. Rabbi Yoshia that says that they both go together, over here he learns something from the pasuk, the diuk from the pasuk, comes to exclude a bird. Really, he needs an exclusion that it doesn't have to come together. Because usually Rabbi Yoshe says it always comes together. So how come he learns a bird? So we're talking about Rabbi Yonason now. Rabbi Yonason, why does he need a special pasuk? There's no reason to believe that you need to bring cow and a sheep together in order to be chayiv nesachim. That's not a shita usually in Torah. Says the Gemara top of Tzadik Aleph Amud Aleph. Hoyelu Ksiv. In Vayikra it says, the second pasuk of Vayikra. Uminatzoin Kemad Ksiv Yavtadami. Is this it? Yeah. Here. There's a lot of psukim here, so it's very, very tight, the print. But in the second pasuk of Vayikra, Dabel b'nei Yisrael v'amarta aleim odem ki yagim mekem korban l'Hashem min habehema min habokor umin hatzoin. So umin hatzoin would seem like it goes together. Min habokor and the tzoin need two of them together. So because I need two of them together, that's why it comes by us and it has a diuk that says no, it's one or the other. Not good? Tech guy's not happy with this? Fine. Says the Gemara. What does Rabbi Yoshia do? He learns from the pasuk, that it comes to exclude a bird. Zevach comes to exclude a bird. But Rabbi Yoshia is the one that always holds that if you have two things in one pasuk, you need both of them. You need a mother and a father to curse. You would need a cow and a sheep. So why is he taking this limud and learning? Not a bird. Tell me this limud that you don't need both. Says the Gemara, you need both of them. I would need a special pasuk to say I don't need both a cow and a sheep in order to be chayiv nesachim. Says the Gemara, very interesting. That's why I printed this out. The Torah says all the way in the beginning of Vayikra, min habokor min hatzoin. What are you telling me it means? Maybe, according to Rabbi Yoshe, it means you need both, bakar and tzayin, in order to be chayiv in nesachim. Guess what? If you drop down to pasuk gimel, it says im oila karbonai min habakar by itself. And way afterwards in pasuk Yud, it says in Menachos. The Torah is telling us here that they're each one individual by themselves. Why are they in their own psukim? You're right. The first pasuk and pasuk Beis they're brought together. So I think I need both of them together. Says the Gemara. According to Rabbi Yosha, it would really mean Ava v'imai. I need both of them, or I need minabokim minatzon. I need both of them together. But because the Torah later on splits them up, pasuk Gimel and Yud, they're split up. So you see mefurish, you don't need both of them together. If I bring a sheep by itself, I have to bring nesachim. I bring a cow by itself, I bring nesachim.
But usually, you would.
The whole Torah, usually, like Aviv, Ishki, Kalas, Aviv Simai means not that he cursed his father or his mother, it means he cursed his father and his mother. That's when he's chayiv. If he cursed one without the other, you're not chayiv. What?
The reason why there's two different psukim is that you have to bring two different types.
Father and mother are very different.
According to him, the father and the mother are two different types of people. It's gonna have to be a curse.
One's from Mars, one's from Venus.
Right.
Yeah.
So who wrote the book, by the way?
I didn't read it. Zog Gemara, okay. Ve'idach. So Rabbi Yonasan, it's okay. So I would think that this whole thing about Yikra is because he said Mefurish, I am only bringing a cow, I am only bringing a sheep. But what about by us in our sugya, in our psukim by Nesachim, Bistama, he didn't say Mefurish, I'm bringing one or the other. So maybe Leisim Tarvayu, maybe I would have to bring both. Komash Malon, you don't need both. Okay, fine. Omar Mar, Toidam Inayin. So going back to yesterday's fancy sheet, where is that? Right over here. It's new and improved with the help of our tech guy Gary. Nicer boxes, v'chulu. I put the thing, but I learned how to do it's a nicer box. With the box is better. But it's red and it's filled completely. We'll talk about it later during Shachris. Anyways, Akabonim. So we had over here, all the way in the beginning of the pasuk, today's sugi is changed. We put instead of oila, we put in v'loy b'chor. But Akabonim it says, what do you do with the oy? Is even a toida. Zevach is even a shlamim. Even a shlamim requires nisachim, and even a toida requires nisachim. I need two special words, oy and zevach, for both those things. Says the Gemara, why do I need them? Why do I need a special pasuk for it? It should be included in zevach. If the Torah says zevach and that includes the shlamim, why doesn't it include a toida? What's the difference? All karbanos should be chayav in nisachim. Itzra. Says the Gemara, toida has 40 breads. Maybe the 40 breads take the place of nisachim. So I wouldn't need it. That's why I need a special word. Wait a minute. There's a thing called the El Nazar. The Nazar brings a ayel. You see, that bread doesn't take the place of nesachim because by a Nazir, he brings bread and he brings nesachim. By the Nazir, he only brings two types. Which types? The chalis and rikikim. Hacha, arba minim. Chali, rikikim, and revucha plus the chametz is 4 types. So certainly, maybe I would have a havamina takes the place of the nesachim, kamash malon, that even a toida brings nesachim. V'lichta rachmana lefali neder oy benedava v'loy bay oyla. Oyla meaning what type of oyla? On a dava oyla. So if it says over here lefali neder oy benedava, meaning any type of carbon that is voluntary, you have to bring nesachim. So then why do I need a special word oyla? Oil is also voluntary. Why is oil not included in the neder and in the dava? Says the Gemara, so the Gemara says basically we have klal upratu klal. I need the oil to disrupt the klal upratu klal. Why? Vasisam Yisrael Hashem. The first words of the pasuk Vasisam Yisrael Hashem is a klal. Lefali neder nedava. Prat. Only, the Torah says, not every carbon vasisim Hashem. Only a carbon that's in a dava needs nesachim. L'reach nichoya, all the way at the end of the pasuk on the second page. You'll believe me, it says it over there. Fine, we'll find it. It says l'reach nichoya. Chazav v'kolal. So what's the halacha? Klal u'prad u'klal. Iyatodon elkein aprad. Ma aprad mafurish dover sheinu ba'al chet. So now we're not talking about so much an adava as much as it's not for an avera. Okay. Afkol she'ein bo al chet. Oitzi chatas v'osham she'ein bo al chet. Okay. So the klal u'prad u'klal will come to say that not a chatas and osham. That fits well with the Mishnah. But the problem is, Avi b'chor u'maiser u'petach she'ein bo al chet. But I will include a b'chor and maiser and pesach that would require nesachim, because they're not a chait. And we know the halacha is in our Mishnah, we said, the Bechor, Meiser, Pesach don't require Nesachim. So that doesn't fit into the Talmud. Le'onar Oila. That's why I need a special word, Oila, to say what? So Lefali Neder comes to say that anything that's not chet doesn't require Nesachim. The Oila comes to exclude the Bechor that's not in the Dava. So there's two levels here. Something that's not a chait, and something that's not in the level. And that's why I need two special words. Hashta says the Gemara, D'chsiv Oila. Okay, so we have Oila, and I took out Bechar. So Klal Prat Ma'amar B'Slay. What good does the Klal Prat Klal do for us? Says the Gemara, Ma Prat Mefurish, She'enu Mechuyev V'Oimed. Right? You have an Oila that you're not Mechuyev to bring it. Somebody decided to donate it. So two other things have to be that they're not mechuyev to bring. So, for instance, if you have a carbon shlamim is also an adava, and it's a female. You could bring a shlamim, a female, and she had a vlad. What's the status of the vlad? When you bring this vlad, you have to bring the sachem with it. The answer is yes. That's what we learned from the Klal Pradu Klal. The vlad. It doesn't matter what the vlad is. You always, you mean, how do you bring a shlamim male? Or not? I think you could.
Oila you can.
Oila you can't. A female. Yeah. I'll go upon him. Now, if you do a tamura of the shlamim, you say. This animal is a shlamim, and then you say, oh no, I found a bigger, better one. I want the second one to be instead. That's a tamura. That also requires nesachim. Va'ila habam and amoisros, like we learned yesterday. If you have extra wine and extra flour, so we sell it and we buy for the ketz hamizbeach, so the mizbeach shouldn't be idle. Va'osham shenitak l'riya. So there's a halacha that if you have a osham, that Asham is similar to Chatos. What happens if, by a Chatos, if the owner dies, the animal's toast? You can't do anything with it. It just dies. You let it die. But a Asham, there's a way out. You give it to a shepherd. It's nitak liria. It's cut off and put to graze. So at the moment that you give it to the shepherd, then it turns into, so to speak, a shlamim. And Memela, the Osham has a status of a shlamim now. He could sell it and you makriv. Hakopanim, it requires nusach. And all the other karbanos that you had the wrong intent, you said instead of a shlamim, instead of chat is no good, but instead of a oila or a shlamim, you said it should be something else. So the other carbon that you're bringing, as you're bringing it as another carbon, that other carbon have to bring nesachim. Fine. Now the Gemara says like this. So we, in this fancy pasuk, it says we learned the drasha from Oy as Zafilu Toida. So now we're stuck because once we learn from the word Oy, Zafilu Toida, what about this Oy? What about this Oy? And there's a bunch of Oy's everywhere. And there's other psukim. There's in Vayikra Oy. There's all sorts of Oy's. Here, in this pasuk, in the end of this pasuk, Menabokar Oy Minatzay. So now we have to go and explain Oy literally. Okay. So we have to figure out what the Oy's do. Says the Gemara. Vajnamers Oy Lidrasha Lefali Neder Oy bin Adava Lomali Lechalkam. Why did the Torah say Lefali Neder Oy bin Adava? Now, what's a Neder? What's an Adava? A Neder. We had this in Menachos Daf Beis Omed Aleph, the first Omed in our Sefta. I'm sure everybody remembers. A neder is a person says Harei Olai, and a nedava is a person says Harei Zu. So Harei Zu, if a person points to a certain animal, says this animal is going to be my carbon, and that animal goes kaput, you don't have to bring anything else. But if a person says I am going to bring a carbon, and the carbon dies, it's too bad. You have to bring another carbon. But they're both vows. They're both nedarim, just they're slightly different. So why do you have to differentiate? Why do you have to split them up? It's true. So I printed this out literally the last second because it becomes a little bit confusing, and this might not even help you. Basically, the Gemara brings 4 drushes for a very similar thing, and when you're reading it, it might be a little confusing. So we'll go over it real quickly. The Gemara says, "Oy ben nedava." That's what we're learning right now. I would think that you need a neder and a nedava in order to be chayiv in a sachem. Maybe I need both. Or according to the other man, the Amar, that if I brought a neder and a nedava, 2 animals, one is a neder, one is a nedava, maybe I'd only be chayiv one nesachim. Komash malam chayiv 2 nesachim. Then the Gemara goes another step. What do we have, Be'etzem? Just to understand. We could have 2 types of animals, a oila and a shlamim, and then we have a neder and a nedava. So the Gemara brings all the combinations. What if you have 2 oilas, but a neder and a nedava? What if you have just a neder, but 2 types of animals? Right? A oila and a shlamim. Or what if, so let's see all the types. I would think that if you brought a oil and a shlamim, which are 2 types of karbanos, right? But 1 type of vow, they're all within 1 category of a neder. He didn't say neder and nedava. He said oil and shlamim for 1 neder. So I would think only 1 nesachim. Kamashmal on 2 nesachims. Oizevach teaches us if he brought two oilos, they're the same type of carbon, but he did 1 as a neder and 1 as a nedava. So that's very different, right? And the last case is the easiest case. You have to bring two nesachim.
Because it's the same thing.
Because they're all in the same category of neder.
Neder and nedava.
It goes in steps. And the easiest step is oishlamim, that if he brought 2 oilos and 1 neder, I would also think I'd have to bring actually this is the hardest case to understand. This is the biggest chiddush.
What does oil's got to do with shlamim?
2 oilos and a neder, within a neder. So they're both the same type of carbon and the same type of vow. So I would think that it's 1 nesachim, Chamash Malah and 2 nesachim. That's the last drasha. These are harder to. So let's see it inside. One vow.
I'm going to bring another 2
oilos. He made 1 vow. I'm going to bring 2 oilos, and he has to bring 2 nesachim. I would think not. Says the Gemara. I would think that until he did both, neder and a nedava, you don't need nesachim at all. Kamash Malon, daisi neder l'chudei l'boy nesachim, v'yaisi nedava l'chudei leisi nesachim. Each one by themselves require nesachim. Hanichel Rabbi Yoshia, that says that every time it says 2 things in a pasuk, I think it's 1. El Rabbi Yonasan lamali, I would never think that they're 1. They're 2 separate things, so I would have to bring 2 separate nesachim. So I see neder l'chudei l'boy nesachim. I see nedava l'chudei l'boy nesachim. They're so separate according to Rabbi Yonasan that maybe I would think I see neder nedava tizglei ben nesachim dechad. Just like each one is by completely himself, and if I brought them together, maybe I would also only have to bring 1 nesachim. Chamash Malon, you bring 2 nesachim. Now we go down to the next thing in the pasuk. Oy b'me'adeichem. It's the easiest case, the worst case, so to speak. 2 types of karbanos, a oil and a shlamim, and 2 types of nidarim. One is a neder and one is a nedava. So definitely separate. Definitely have to bring nesachim. 2 nesachim. Inami ibcha. Or you reverse, the oila is the neder and or the nedava. It doesn't matter which one is what, but the different nedavas. One is a neder, one is a nedava, and the different type of karbanos, oil and a shlamim. But what if he brought two types of karbanis, so oil and shlamim, but with one type of neder, one type of vow in a neder? Inami oil shlamim bin adava, they're both an adava, so I would think it's one category of vow, and therefore only one nesachim is required. That's what I do with the extra oil. Now the Gemara is jumping to Vayikra, right? Pasuk Ches. It's in Bamidbar, but following Psukim. So that we said is no good that we learn from the pasuk of b'miyadechem. Here's the chiddush that you need two. What if the karbanis are not different? They're the same type of carbon. It's two oilos or two shlamim. Just what did he switch? He switched the vows. One was in an neder and one was in an adava. Maybe in that I only have to bring one nisachim because they're both the same type of carbon. We base it on the type of carbon, and therefore I would only require one nisachim. You need two nisachim. That's what I do with oizav. Again, over there in that Lamali. This is the last and the hardest case, the biggest chiddush, so to speak. That's the last chiddush that we just said. What if everything is equal? It's the same type of carbon and the same type of vow. And I would think in that case, you only have to bring one nesachim. I need two nesachim, and here it is. There's four limudim. I can't see myself. Teach us all the combinations of two karbanos and two types of vows. All require two nesachim. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yoshia, who says that if there's two words in one pasuk, we need both words. If it says a father and a mother, you have to curse both. So he darshan from the pasuk that it comes to exclude a bird. Zevach, only an animal, not a bird. But what does he do with the word oy? If he brings one type of animal, like just two cows or two goats, would need one nesachim, kamash malon, that you need two nesachim. Kacha tasu le'echad, lamali. At the end of all these psukim, the Torah repeats itself and says, this is how you should do nesachim. Why is it necessary? I said for every single thing it needs nesachim. Kacha tasu. Okay, fine. Why do I need it? When do I have to bring? When am I required to bring two nesachim? When they come one after the other. If I bring two animals together at the same time, I need two nesachim in all cases. So it says all the way at the end of the Mishnah. It's not such a long Mishnah. It's 4 lines, but it says all the karbanos of tzibur yachad need nesachim besides the chatas. But in the chatas and the asham, there's an exception. Typically, a chatas does not require nesachim, but a chatas of mitzayra and the asham of mitzayra require nesachim. So since it says mincha, b'mincha haba im hazevach hagos medaber. Ata oimer b'mincha haba im hazevach. How do you know? Maybe it's an individual nedava of a mincha doesn't come with a carbon. It says the word oila, and it says v'sa mincha. Torah is talking about a mincha that comes together with a carbon. passes ala oila ay lekevas echad. So you take this nesech and you do it ala oila. Oila. So now the Gemara says like this. It says there's three exclusions here. They're all coming from Mitzayra because the Mitzayra has three korbanos. Oila zu oilas Mitzayra, zevach zu chadas Mitzayra. All three of his korbanos require nesachim. Zevach zu chadas Mitzayra, oila zavach zu osha Mitzayra. So I need three special words in the pasuk that tells that the three korbanos of a Mitzayra require nesachim. As the Gemara zevach. Why do I need three special words? The word zevach should include both the chatos and the asham. How do I know? The Amar Mar. Now, stop for a second. Hagdama. When it comes to a Nazir, the day that he brings his karbanis, which are his shlomim, oila, and the chatos, he takes his hair, they cut his hair off, they take that hair, very interesting, they put it underneath the pot. They burn it underneath the pot that they are cooking the shlomim. Okay? What if they put it underneath the pot that they're cooking the chatos? It's also good. Now, there's another halacha that we have to remember. If the Nazir, talking about a Nazir, if the Nazir, he became Tameh, so he has to start all over again. But part of the process of starting all over again is the Asham. He has to bring an Asham. Stop. 5 minutes. Not stop. 4 minutes. So says the Gemara, the Omar Mar, all the way on top of Tzadik Aleph on Beis, the Omar Mar, Chatos v'Asham is Noam on? We don't know. If you're on, good morning, Noam. Nobody. Yeah, that's it. That's boring. Okay. The Omar Mar, who?
Somebody called Omar.
No one's on. There's nobody on.
Right now, nobody's on. Okay. The Omar Mar, Chatos v'Asham minayin, maybe that's Yosef. Chatos v'Asham minayin, Tamaloi Mar, Zevach. How do I know that I can put the hair underneath the chatos? Meaning, Rashi on the spot says, the chatos, no, the nazir of the tahar, the normal nazir, because he brings the chatos, or the asham, meaning the asham of the nazir who is tamei. Over there, it's very interesting, the lashon, because not how do I know he's allowed to put? He has to put his hair. He has no other carbon. That's the only carbon. By a nazir that became tamei, the only carbon he brings is the asham. Fine. How do I know I put his hair underneath? Zevach. What do you see? That I could, the word zevach could include a chatos and it could also include a asham. So then over here by us in our sugya, why do I need three words to include all three mitzayra karbanos? The word zevach should include both the chatos and the asham. Says yes, the word zevach could include a chatos and asham when they're equal. Over here by the mitzayra, they accomplish different things. The asham comes to making kosher. The chatas l'chaper, and the other one comes to take away his averis. Being a treikrai, that's why I need two different. Zevach zu chatas mitzayra, ve'ema zu chatas v'asham denazir. Who told you that zevach comes to exclude the chatas of mitzayra? What about the chatas of a nazir? Lo yisok adaitach. Can't be. L'sanyo. It says by nazir umin chasam v'niskeihem bo'ilasayu b'shloma v'akasim edaber. At the Omer bo'ilasayu b'shloma, the Torah is talking about his oil and shlomim. How do I know? Maybe by his chatos it requires nisachim. Hamaloi mar v'sa'ayil yaseh zevach shlomim umin chasam v'niskoi. Ayil b'klal hoyo v'lo mayotze. Why is ayil? Why does the Torah talk about an ayil? Lahakesh elov ma ayil miyuchod bo b'neder u'b'nedava. Afkol ba beneder ubenedava. So therefore, it can't be that we're talking about the chatos of a nazir. Has to be it's talking about the chatos of a mitzvah. Oil zu oilas mitzvah, ve'em zu oilas yeledes. How do I know to exclude the oil of a mitzvah? If I asked you the word oil, what does oil mean? Why would you jump to conclusion that there's other oilas? Why do you jump to the oil of a mitzvah? In the Torah, there's other. A woman also brings oil when she gives birth. No, I don't need for a woman that gives birth. We say for the Kronafka, it's already in the pasuk, the Sanya. It says lakeves echad. So for the lakeves, I learn a woman that gives birth. Interesting. The famous halacha: if a person takes meiser, how do you take meiser of an animal? You open up the gate and you count the animals as they come out. 1, 2, 3, 4. all these mishnayos talk about. What if he said on the 9th one, he made a mistake, he called the 9th one the 10th, or he called the 11th one the 10th? If he called the 11th one the 10th, he made a mistake, they're both meiser. Number 10 and 11 are meiser. So meiser doesn't require nesachim, and the 10th. But the 10th would require nesachim. Mr. 11, he's meiser, but he's not meiser. He requires nesachim because really we flip him into a shlamim. Says the Gemara, I had a kasha here because we did have a carbon pesach that it turns into a shlamim, and the tafel. So I looked. We found Tosfos asked the kasha, and Tosfos says a new pshat in this. I'm just saying it because it's a new understanding. The Gemara is not saying, but this is a case. There is no case. There is no case where the how do you say tafel in English?
Secondary.
Thank you. Where the secondary guy is more chomer than the original. There is no such case. I over here, the Gemara brought a case. Mr. 11 is more chomer than 10. 10 is meiser, and 11 has to bring the sachim where 10 doesn't bring the sachim. No, 11 is not meiser. 11 is shlamim. Because there is no such thing that the secondary is more chomer than the original. That's how you have to understand the pshat. Very simple pshat, but it's a new way of thinking about it, right? Because when you learn the pshat simply, you'll learn you can't find in the whole Torah where the secondary is chomer. Besides in this case, and Tosfos says no. Even in this case, it's because it's not secondary. It's a new category called shlamim. And the same halacha would apply also with carbon pesach. It flips into a shlamim. Fine. Says the Gemara, Rava Amar, Ezu Davar Shetzarach Shloisha Ribuyim, a new pshat. The Torah says Oila Oy Zavach, and we had 3 Ribuyim. Have Oym is a Mitzorah makes sense that it's not a woman, it's a Mitzorah because a Mitzorah has 3 korbanos, and that's why I need 3 special limudim. Let's stop over here. We have no choice. But the Shabbos will try to catch up. This is the worst that we ever did, but that's what happens. You have a 30-minute shir.
7 o'clock.
Oh, 7 o'clock Motzei Shabbos. Thank you. It's late or early? Mr. Kornbluth, 7 is early?